Good morning, SBC. It is Tuesday morning. My name is Brother David Tucker, and I'm here to encourage you this day that God's going to give you just enough to handle whatever's coming. Now, I know that as believers, a lot of times we will pray and ask God, Lord, will you bless me to overflowing? Will you fill me to the point I can't take anymore? Lord, will you just kind of pull a dump truck into my yard and just pour out the blessing on my house? And we ask for God to give us more than we need. We want God to give us more than we can even use. And in fact, we get upset when it feels like God's not giving it to us in the volume that we desire. But I want you to know that God intends to always give you just enough to face what is coming today. When I was younger, my parents worked in a company. In fact, my dad worked on a device and created a device, and it's called the Portacath. You may have heard about it. It's a cancer therapy device. And I have one here that's old. This is not what they make today, not by a long stretch, but it is similar in the design. And what it is you can see there's a little piece of rubber right there, and there's a tube that's attached to it, a catheter. And what happens is that device is planted into the body, and that small little piece kind of is just under the skin. So when they poke in a needle, they can give into that device the medicine that's needed. Now, that's awesome in and of itself because it takes away a lot of the pain of the needles. But there's more to it. They can hook a needle to a pump that the individual has with them. And then that pump consistently drip, drip, drip the medicine directly into the body. And they don't have to keep going back to the doctor, or they don't have to take a large dose of chemo or whatever the medicine might be. They're able to take just enough to be able to address the need of that day with that disease. And this was a game changer for people when it first came out. I mean, folks who were always having to be at the doctors or always having to be in the hospital were now free to go home. Folks that were used to being overwhelmed by the side effects of so much medicine being poured into the body, now we're being able to see those side effects reduced just massively because they were getting just enough to address the disease and not enough to overwhelm the body. Do you see the difference between getting just enough and getting too much? Actually, God has designed us and actually encourages us to aim for just enough for each day. When the disciples asked Jesus to give them the model prayer, what they asked for is what he gave them. And when we give the model prayer, when we give the exact perfect prayer, we don't ask for the boatload of blessing. Listen to what it says, Matthew chapter 6. There, Jesus taught his disciples to pray in this manner. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Not tomorrow's bread, not this week's bread, not next month's bread, but just give us the daily bread. Give us enough sustenance to handle today. Give us enough blessing to be able to face today. Give us enough strength to be able to handle today. God, give us enough for this day. That is what God has trained us to pray for, and that is what he desires to give. Why? Because if you don't get just the right amount, the side effects can be overwhelming. And so today, I want you to know when you're praying, pray that God gives you your daily bread. And I promise you, he's going to give you just enough to face whatever's coming. You say, I'm not sure I can handle it. I'm not sure I'll be able to address it or deal with it. I don't feel like I'm going to be strong enough to face it. I'm telling you, pray, and God's going to give you just enough to take whatever's coming today. Well, I hope that God blesses you and that you make this a great day with the blessing that he gives you for these 24 hours. I look forward to catching up with you again real soon, right here at Second Baptist Church.